Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to do something slightly different but bongo related. As you'll probably see from the title of the video, we're going to review some books. So this is a set of books called Bongo Nights and it's written by a guy called Richard Harris. Now, I'm not sponsored in any way. I use my own money to buy these books. Well, actually they were a Christmas present, so kind of the same thing. So yeah, so he's not in any way kind of sponsored me or given me any money to do this. So this is just a complete independent review of these books. Obviously I thought they was pertinent to the channel because they are all to do with bongos. And yeah, so I read the books. I got them for Christmas, and I've always wanted the books. I can't believe I didn't buy them any sooner, but well, this one actually came out 10 years ago. I think this was 2015. This one was 2020 for the second book, and the third book was only last year. So all pretty relevant. I mean, obviously a lot of things will have changed over the last 10 years from the first book, but so let's get into the actual book. So the first one is Bongo Nights. Now this is what kicked it all off for. So it's Richard Harris is the author. It sounds like he's a retired journalist, and I thoroughly enjoyed the books. Okay, so spoiler alert, I thought they were great. And so this first one concentrates on his kind of first initial idea, which was spending, as it says on the back here, 52 weeks, 52 nights and 52 special places. So yeah, so it goes off for an entire year, and every single week he's got to go to another location and spend a night in his bongo, which, you know, it doesn't sound that difficult, but you try and do it, and I reckon that's actually a pretty good challenge. And he does a really good job. This book is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It's got some really good anecdotes. You can tell he loves the bongo, which is absolutely perfect for any kind of bongo owner, because, you know, we kind of love our little vans, don't we? And yeah, you can tell he does too. You know, and he kind of embraces that in the book. But some of the stories and some of the people he meets is really good. I couldn't put it down, I must admit, and I thought, yeah, that was really good. I was so pleased. I got all three books at once, so I had them all lined up, because I didn't know. I thought it might just be a little bit of a boring list of just like been there, did that, did this, did that. But no, he weaves in some really cool stories into everywhere he's been. I'm not going to tell you any of the stories because that's up for you to find out if you do want to buy the books and read them. But yeah, I just like the premise of it. You know, that kind of spending a week, you know, a night in your van every single week, because, you know, you can get a van and you can soon lose interest and not know what to do with them. And this is actually pretty good bits of inspiration actually in there. It's mainly centered around kind of Cumbria, and some of it's in Scotland, I think, if I remember rightly. Yes, there are a few places in Scotland. So, you know, it doesn't go too far, but that's pretty cool. The next one is the Bongo Nights 2. And this one is 26 nights, 26 adventures and 26 special places. Now this one is slightly different because he does an A to Z of the Lake District. So he's just staying at places where the first letter is a letter of the alphabet, and he goes through the alphabet, which is no easy feat, obviously. I think he's taken a bit of artistic license with some of the places, but yeah, it's really good. There is, I don't know if there's two, but there's definitely a repeated story in one of these books. I can't remember if it's this one or this one. So he does repeat one of the stories a bit strangely. And yeah, it kind of like, it's because he was in the same place and he kind of repeats the story. And you don't realise he's repeating it until you go, I've heard this story before. So that's the only sort of slight criticism I would say. But again, a fantastic read. And it kind of really gives you a good insight into the kind of like the wild camping scene around Lake District. This one, though, does take place around COVID. So he does face an extra challenge in this book, which, again, I'm not going to spoil it. You'll see what he has to do and how kind of like even staying in your camper van and wild camping around the Lake District does change around that period and kind of changes forever afterwards, really. So it's a really interesting book. That's another cracker. And this third one, which is Beyond the Horizon. Now, this one is, like I say, this only came out last year, so very relevant book. 15 islands. Have a look at the back. So 15 islands, 11 ferries, and this is all in the Scottish Islands, you know, on the kind of west coast of Scotland. And yeah, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Another kind of a very different feeling to the two, which is quite nice. He's kind of changed it up a little bit, doing something different, so you know you're going on a different journey. and it's written with the same kind of humour as the other two books. So yeah, I mean, it was just a lovely read, really. Like I say, he's an ex-journalist, so he is pretty good at the old writing there. So yeah, so I would highly recommend these books if you own a bongo. I'm going to fan them out. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, so I think they're a good set of books if you're a bongo owner. So where to buy the books from? Okay, so I don't think they're actually available on Amazon. I've looked before and they weren't on there. You could see the picture book. I think he must have sold them before on Amazon, but they don't seem to be available there. But if you go to his own website, which it's probably Richard, I don't know, his name is Richard Harris. So like I say, we'll put a link in the description, but you buy them when you follow the link from his website. It goes to a site called Hulu, I think it's called. I shall have a look in the thing. Let's have a look at that. Well prepared this was. So yeah, so basically if you go to bongonights.co.uk, that will take you to his website, and then there's a link on there to where you actually buy the books from, and you can purchase them from that website there. So there we go. I think there are other books out there. I know there is one called Blog Off in a Bongo, but I've never read that one, so I can't comment on what's inside that one. But I'd like to give that one a go. It sounds like a woman in a bongo going around the coastline of Britain, and that all sounds great as well. I mean, anything that can inspire an adventure in your camper van, oh, that's got to be worth it, really, isn't it? So yeah, so there you go. I would say if you're bored, fancy a read, get yourself some Bongo Nights. So there we go. Thanks for watching this video, just a very quick one, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.